Welcome to the second annual FedsWISH Walk. I am your master of ceremonies today. My name is Shamari Stone. I'm a news anchor and reporter at Fox 5. I anchor from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. with Angie Goff and then hit the streets at 10 and 11 p.m. weekdays on Fox 5. Who can tell me why we're here today? Hunger. Yes, you are correct. And hunger in the DMV is real. Nearly 1 in 3 of our region's residents suffered food insecurity last year. And since September is Hunger Action Month, you all answered the call. You are here this morning participating in the Feds Walk in support of health and hunger relief. And guess what? It's not raining. I was concerned. I said, you know what? It could be raining this morning, and we are dedicated. It's a beautiful day in our nation's capital. So let's get this event started. And now I would like to introduce the National Feds Feed Families Chair, Andrea Samau.
Thank you, Shamari. And good morning, everyone, and welcome. We're very happy to have you here today, as well as our guest speakers as well, and all of you colleagues from the federal community. My name is Andrea Samau, and I have the honor of serving as the National Chair for this year's Feds Feeds Families. We are happy to be joined today by all of you as we work across the federal government on the Feds Feeds Family Initiative. To give you some background, the Feds Feeds Family Food Drive began in response to the 2009 United We Serve Act, which called on Americans to contribute to the nation's economic recovery by serving in our communities. This annual campaign, now in its 14th year, which is wonderful, encourages federal employees to support food banks in our local areas by giving in-kind donations of food, services, and time to help those in need. As we all know, during the summer months when school is out, the demand for food increases significantly, but also this is a decline where we see the decline in donations. And we in the Feds Feeds Families community helps to address this need. And since its launch in 2009, we have now accumulated and recorded over 108 million pounds of donations across the United States.
That's great.
And we're here today to increase that number and increase that amount. So thank you again for joining us. Thank you for supporting your communities. Now we want to hear from our esteemed speakers. It is my pleasure today to introduce USDA Deputy Secretary Torres Small. Ms. Torres Small was confirmed by the United States Senate this past July to serve as our Deputy Secretary. She is the first Latina to hold this position. Prior to her confirmation as Deputy Secretary, Ms. Small served as Undersecretary for Rural Development. In this role, she oversaw loans and grants to provide infrastructure improvements, business development, affordable housing, community facilities, and high-speed internet across rural America. Before joining USDA, Torres Small was a U.S. representative for the 5th largest district in the country. She is the first woman and first person of color to represent New Mexico's 2nd Congressional District. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Secretary.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm a little starstruck to be here. It is such an honor. Thank you so much, Shamari, for being here, and thank you everyone for showing up. I can see folks are already ready to walk because you're standing through this, so I'll try to make my comments short. Because we have a lot of speakers, and what that shows is that we have incredible partnerships. We truly are a federal family. I do want to get a sense of who all is here. So can I just get, by show of hands, who's here from USDA?
Right.
Excellent. Who other federal agencies are presented? Other folks? All right. Is it DOD, OPM, Homeland Security?
Yay!
All right. Thank you so much for being here, because your presence every single year, your contributions every single year truly matter. But it's particularly acute for me to see you here standing up as a career civil servant to support and help fight hunger with everything else happening right now for the federal government. Recognizing that we are all on pins and needles when it comes to whether or not Congress is going to do its job and fund the government. Recognizing that folks who may be E5s or GS9s who are struggling to figure out how they're going to be able to pay their rent if there's a lapse in funding, that people are still showing up today to walk for families who might face those challenges every single day. Because the work that we do is so important across the federal government to support folks who are struggling. Even in this building right next to us, folks are finding a way to see what we might be able to do to save programs like WIC where pregnant women, new mothers, infants, kids depend on every single day for their food. Shutdown could threaten so many vital services, and you all are here trying to figure out what we can do and standing up in your personal capacity to support people every single day. With the cost of food and other services increasing, millions of people in the United States might not have access to nutritious foods at an affordable price. Across the country, that's 1 out of every 10 Americans who suffer from food insecurity. Now, we just heard that 1 out of every 3 residents in DC, in our nation's capital. That's a stark reality, and I'm sure that's part of why all of you are here. Millions of Americans struggle with food insecurity and diet-related diseases, like heart disease and type 2 diabetes, which are some of the leading causes of death and disability in the United States. And the toll of hunger and disease, we know it's not distributed equally. We know it disproportionately impacts underserved communities, including Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, low-income families, and rural Americans. So there's no doubt that the lack of access to nutritious food is tied to negative physical as well as negative mental health outcomes. So USDA plays a vital role in keeping the food supply safe. We've also got to tackle both food insecurity and food and nutrition insecurity. To achieve this, USDA will continue to invest in bold solutions to enhance food safety, improve nutrition programs, and reduce food and nutrition insecurity. But you all are here today, because we know that we can't do it alone. A year ago today, under the Biden-Harris administration, the White House convened a conference on hunger, nutrition, and health that brought people together to achieve the goal of ending hunger and reducing diet-related diseases in the United States by 2030, all while reducing disparities. Last year, OPM was asked to create an event that encouraged physical activity in conjunction with the White House conference. And so we are so grateful that OPM partnered with Feds Feed Families, and from that union, FedsWISH was born. This is one of the examples of how the work that starts, sometimes at a local level, at grassroots, can grow into something that becomes sponsored by the White House and continued and grown as a partnership. This year, USDA is honored to partner with Feds Feed Family on the 2nd annual FedsWISH Walk. How many of you guys think that Feds Feed Family is a real tongue twister? I certainly do.
Yes, FFF.
FFF, there we go.
That's what my wife calls it, FFF.
Thank you to our partners as well from the DoD Defense Commissary Agency, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the Office of Personnel Management for joining us at this event. Thank you also to representatives joining us from organizations which work to address our community needs. As of today, you heard that I had in my notes that 8.4 million pounds of food had been collected as of today, but I was just told it's now 8.6 from the writing of this speech.
Wow.
So by the end of the day, I'm wondering how high it's going to get. How much higher than 8.6 are we going to get?
8.7.
8.7. All right, that's a throwdown.
Thank you.
So one key partner this year in this year's Feds Feeds Families is the Department of Defense, which has single-handedly raised more than 5 million pounds of recorded donations. Thank you, Sergeant Major Tacido.
Thank you, Sergeant Major.
And thank you to your team for leading DoD's efforts on this program. You have our sincere appreciation. So as we prepare to walk on the National Mall after hearing from some of our incredible partners, I want to thank you. In the midst of the uncertainty that you and your families may be facing today, to provide a little more certainty for families all across the country who are hungry, and families right here in our neighborhoods who are hungry every single day. With that, Sergeant Major Sacita.
Okay, man. Well, you stole a little of my thunder by throwing those digits out there, but that's okay. It's all right to hear them again. Okay. It's my pleasure and honor to be here today. I'm actually wrapping up a 3-year assignment with the Defense Commissary Agency, and actually be retiring next month. 33 years.
All right. Thank you for your service.
I will tell you, the workforce at the Defense Commissary Agency they're heroes. I call them heroes. I won't go too much in it, but they were there when everybody else were teleworking. They were there delivering the benefit and food to those who needed it, especially with this program. I'm a true believer in the FedsWISH Family Program. It does fantastic things. So with that, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. It is great to be here for the FedsWISH Walk. On behalf of the Director and CEO of the Defense Commissary Agency, we are honored to collaborate with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Department of Defense, and all federal agencies for this very important cause. I cannot state enough how important it is for what we do with the FedsWISH Family Campaign and the tremendous impact it has on individuals and families who benefit the most. Since 2013, the Department of Defense and Defense Commissary Agency has donated food throughout the country to help feed those in need. We have all experienced the recent increase in food costs. Some families' household budgets are adjusted to offset the increase in food prices. However, for those who are financially challenged, often their budget does not cover the basic needs for such things as housing, food, and utilities. Often people with the lowest income bracket depend on local food banks for their support. Although inflation continues to decrease, some food items continue to increase. That is why it is so important for all federal agencies to support the FedsWISH Family Campaign. The Department of Defense and the Defense Commissary Agency work closely with over 208 food banks throughout the U.S. and Puerto Rico, donating to local food banks throughout the year. During last year's FedsWISH Family Campaign, the Department of Defense donated over 4.7 million pounds to local food banks, with a total 7.9 million pounds contributed across all federal agencies. This outstanding achievement demonstrates the department's commitment to helping people in need, as well as the generosity of the Department of Defense employees. The annual FedsWISH Walk and the FedsWISH Family Campaign is a great way for the Department of Defense employees to give back to the community. As of today, the Department of Defense FedsWISH Family donations total, this is the Department of Defense, FedsWISH Family donations total over 5.3 million pounds. That's a 12.8% increase over last year's contributions.
Wow. All right.
Okay. As of today, okay, right. 12 years, sorry, I lost my place. A total contribution across all federal agencies this year exceeds 8.6 million pounds in 2023, and that's fantastic. And it's going to be
8.7.
0.7.
That's what my wife said.
I'll get everybody on that as soon as I leave here.
8.7.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture has been a great partner in helping the Department of Defense achieve this goal. On behalf of everyone using this resource, I'm here today to say thank you for your support. We are extremely grateful to everyone who contributed their hard work and dedication to making the FedsWISH Family Campaign another success. Without their support, many low-income families would go without. Each year, we look for ways to strengthen the program and to help those in need. In the coming years, we are committed to building on the program and hope you will join us in this life-impacting endeavor. In closing, as you participate in today's FedsWISH Walk, take in the day. Enjoy the views and the company of the other participants. Remember, your contributions to the Fed Feeds Family campaign does make a difference in someone's life. If you are interested in helping, just stop by a local food bank and ask, how can I help? Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Sergeant Major, and I want to let you know we appreciate your service to our country. You're going to be retiring soon, and I'll be here to play with you on the golf course. You know, hopefully the weather's nice like it is today. You know what I mean? All right. And thank you to the Defense Commissary Agency for leading the way on the Fed's Feed Families Summer Campaign. And now I'd like to introduce someone else, another federal partner. Welcome to the stage, Juana Silverio, the representative for the Department of Housing and Urban Development's Assistant Secretary of Administration, Elizabeth De Leon Bargava. How was that pronunciation? I'm good, right? Whoa. Looks like you got a little hurricane coming here. There we go.
So.
All right.
Thank you, Shamari.
Welcome.
I don't know if you all can hear me, but I'm Juana Silverio. I'm the Chief of Staff of the HUD's Office of Administration, representing the Assistant Secretary, Elizabeth De Leon Bargava. So first of all, happy Hispanic Heritage Month to all of my Latinx community. Second, I want to thank you all for showing up today. I am not going to repeat all of the beautiful stats that we have here. What I am going to bring is that a few things. So one, when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about what did I want to reflect on today's FedsWISH Walk. One is, why don't we celebrate the collaboration of all of us here, all of our federal partners? Without that, we truly wouldn't be able to continue to serve our communities throughout the country, but particularly here in the national region as Capital National Region as public servants. So let's celebrate that today.
All right.
As we walk, I also reflected on how many of us have put aside our plans because life is lifing, right? So I'm thinking about folks who are close to retirement, like my mom, but she keeps putting off retirement for the very reason of making sure that she is supporting my 3-year-old twin niece and nephew, and underemployed brother, right? So I'm sure my mom may be reflected in your neighbor, right? Let's also reflect on 1 in 3 people in the Washington, D.C. area, as Shamari pointed out earlier today, could be our neighbor. It could be that congressional intern, right? So as we walk today, let's reflect on, it's not just numbers, but it could be our very own family members and our neighbors today. Okay. And lastly, I wanted us not to get hurt with this windstorm, but to give each and every one of you and all of our public servants who are participating in this campaign year in and year out for showing up, right? We're showing up not just for our institutions, these powerful institutions that are serving the American people. We're showing up for our communities. We're showing up for our families and our friends, but we're also showing up for ourselves. And hopefully as you take this walk, whether it's 10 minutes of the walk, the whole 2 miles of the walk, that you celebrate yourselves, continue to collaborate, and show up for us. So thank you.
All right, I thought I was going to have to rescue our dignitaries here. We got bees coming from upstairs. I don't know what's going on.
So you are in front of
Yes, there's agriculture. We got my little buddies back here. I know y'all hot with them suits on. All right. Thank you, Ms. Silverio and HUD employees for your support for the Feds Feed Families program. Let's also welcome to the stage the U.S. Office of Personal Management's Deputy Director, Robert Shriver.
Thank you, everybody. I don't know about the rest of you, but when Shamari Stone says there might be a hurricane coming, my brain is kind of programmed that maybe that's for real, and then the sign blows over. But
Flying projectiles
yeah,
back
right,
here.
right. No, I think we're going to have a beautiful day for a walk. I'm really excited to be here with all of you. We've got our orange flare on. We've got our sneakers laced up or ready to hit the road. So I'm not going to take a whole lot of time so that we can get going. But I did want to just, first of all, thank our partners from across the government, our partners at USDA, who's organized and coordinated Feds Feed Family now for many of those 14 years. Deputy Secretary Torres Small, it's such an honor to have you in the administration. We're so lucky to have her, aren't we? What a great DepSec USDA has. Sergeant Major Saucedo, thank you so much for your commitment, all the work you've done for our service members. Thank you so much for that. And thank you to HUD and WANA for your great partnership. And to all of you, at OPM, we are huge cheerleaders of federal workers. And I have had the honor of getting to spend my career either working in the federal government, working on behalf of federal employees, or working as partners with federal agencies. So my whole career I've been able to work with federal employees. And I think there's really no greater statement about what the character is of the federal workforce than all of you showing up here today when tomorrow might be the last day that some of you work for a while. And the next paycheck you get might be the last paycheck you get for a while. We just don't know. And yet here you are from across the government showing up in support of your friends, your neighbors, your families. That's what, to me, is at the core of our federal workforce, our career federal workers who just come in and day out, driven by the mission, do the job that needs to be done for the American people. Doesn't matter who's in charge, who's in power, what's going on around you. You just come in and you do your job day in and day out to help people. And doing this in your personal life, it's no surprise to me to see so many of you here and to hear those fantastic statistics. So this is just something that is stitched right into the DNA of federal workers. And I want to just thank all of you for all that you do every day for the American people, in addition to supporting this event. Thank you. And let me also just wrap by saying, I'm also not going to repeat all the statistics, but the food insecurity that is present in this country, the greatest and the richest country in the world, is really just stunning. And to see the growth of this program to help address those needs. I was at OPM when the program was launched. It was a very small program that was meant to help restock the food bank shelves when the summer hit and the kids went home from school. And then to see what it's grown into and how big it's become and how far reaching it's become it's really gratifying for me to see it. And I'm really proud of all of the work that all these agency leaders have done. So thank you very much. I'm excited to hit the road, and I think it's back to you, Shamari.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shriver and the OPM for your leadership. Let's welcome back to the stage Andrea Samau.
So thank you everyone again for joining today. Thank you to our speakers. It's very much an honor to have you with us. We just want to go over some housekeeping items before we get started on the walk. And I'd like to introduce our FedsWISH Family Special Projects Coordinator, Caleb. He's going to give us some directions on which way to head.
Hi everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you speakers and federal partners across DC for coming in. So we're really excited to get to the fun part, the walk. My name's Caleb Gilday. Oh,
Sure.
okay. My name's Caleb Gilday. I'm the Special Events Coordinator for Feds Feed Families Summer Campaign. And I'm going to provide the instructions, so listen carefully so you get safely to the Lincoln Memorial and back. You'll see these orange FedsWISH family signs that Andrea is showing off right now. They're fairly low to the ground, so please make sure you're looking out for them. They'll be at every turn that you'll need to take. Please also reference the maps that you received as well. If you did not get a map, share one with your neighbor, or there are a few more over there, I believe, that you can pick one up. Generally, we're going to be following the south sidewalks along the mall, following Independence Avenue. The same way we go out is the same way we come back. Note that there are bathrooms located on the National Park Service grounds right at the northwest corner of 14th Street and Independence Ave Southwest, almost directly next to the Washington Monument. Make sure you be safe, and if, of course, an emergency does arise, please make sure you call 911, or the people around you will help you. Most importantly,
I don't remember that in the notes.
No, yeah, that wasn't in the notes. Most importantly, please have fun and know that you're supporting this amazing cause, and we thank you, and we hope to continue doing this for years to come. Again, my name's Caleb Gilday. If you need me or any of our other FedsWISH families, there's the tongue twister.
It is.
National staff, please just reach out to us and we're happy to help. Take pictures if you can and share them with us. So enjoy your time. Back to you, Mr. Stone.
Thank you. Thank you, Caleb. Let's give it up for Caleb. And the FedsWISH planning team for all your hard work. I just want to quickly acknowledge my wife here, who coincidentally works for the USDA. And here's the deal. She didn't even know about this event. She said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I got home late. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing something at your job." She's like, "Well, can you give me a ride to work?" I said, "Yeah, no problem." She's Dr. Crystal Southern with the USDA Food and Safety Inspection Service, Office of Public Health Science, scientific liaison and the designated federal officer for the USDA National Advisory Committee and Microbiological Criteria for Foods. We're talking about tongue twisters. Man, my tongue's in a knot after saying that thing. I tell you guys, real quick before we start, thank you for all attending this event. And seriously, everyone here right now, I just want to take the time to say thank you, because you're bringing attention to something that is very important with food insecurity. We all know about food deserts. Make sure that you don't forget to leave any food donations you have in the bins before you leave. All right, guys, who's excited? Let's get ready to walk, roll, stroll, okay? I won't be joining you because I don't have my tennis shoes. And to my friends back here, shout out to all the mascots. We got a chicken, we got a, what's that, a cow? Is that an owl? All right, got the W on there for Washington Commanders. Let's have fun, you guys. I'm Shamari Stone. You can watch me on Fox 5 every day. Love you guys. Thank you.